My third cyclocross outing would be an NECCL event organised by NECCL at Thorneyford Farm near Ponteland in Northumberland. Sharing the site are a few businesses of particular relevance to cyclists. The first of these, What Bike Cycling Services, sell refurbished bikes, accessories and parts. There's also the Barn Fitness Studio, which looks like just the place in which I'd feel comfortable training. However, the facility for which it's probably best known is Kirkley Cafe, extremely popular with cyclists using the quiet country lanes hereabouts.
It wasn't deliberately I jumped the queue, it was unintentional. Oh, all right then. Yeah,
You've got our house number.
38.
Yeah. Maybe that's a lucky number. You will cycle up that incline.
Just got to remember to start me watch now. Slip me back there. Prophetic words indeed, because I went down there about halfway through the race. This was a short piece of single track through a narrow wood and was one of the few places on the course where you could take a breather. I'll give you this top guy.
Okay.
The most significant feature of the course was what I termed the hill. Here the eventual winner is assessing his options, eventually choosing to ride it, while his clubmate goes for an entirely different look. While they disappear over the hill, I'm on the approach. The trickiest part was at the foot, and I needed a few goes before I got the right line. However, because I wasn't sure I could ride it every time, and because I fancied trying to run something, that's what I decided to do. We cleared it here just because the Mousses was watching. It's the beginning that's the tough bit.
Don't go crazy nuts the first time, because you're going to go around about 4 times. Up that hill 4 times.
I just want to say a quick word about the organisers and organisers in general. Although there hadn't been many youngsters, the courses had been set out and the races run, for which parents seemed appreciative on social media. If you're lucky enough as a club to have people who are prepared to organise stuff, be grateful for it, because without wanting to sound sanctimonious, they're few and far between. In this case, they allow people like me to behave like a kid in a playground. With NECCL events being more informal, you can start where you like, which is nice, because I'm usually gridded right at the back at CXNE events. Not that I'm complaining, but it puts a different emphasis on the character of the race. So here begins our coverage of the race. If I've let things run on a bit in the various sections, it's to try to include as many people as we can in what was a relatively small field.
Scott.
Here I am, almost out of the meadow and approaching the hill, in the company of the two guys I'd spent most of the race battling against. Choosing to shoulder the bike seemed like a reasonable option, but of the three of us, I'd be the last one to cross the line. It takes no time for a field to become spread out. Here you can see the leaders already well on their way to lapping us. This young fella put my performance into perspective, and you'll see him in a second confidently riding the hill while I'm off the bike and running it. And I thought things were going so well.
Perfect. Okay.
With my tiny nemesis having finished his race, it was back into the meadow to compete against guys who at least looked the same size as me.
Look at that.
Well done.
That's probably less brakes than most of you. Not much in the house, really.
Depends on how good your brakes are, really, isn't it? How fast.
Well done.
Well done.
That velo culture, that's
Well done, Ryan.
well done, mate. Looking strong. Love that.
That was really good.
You look
Power
good.
slide.
Nice one for sticking in, mate.
Big
Well
in.
done.
Second wind.
Yeah, you're flying. Well done. us down again.
Well done.
Ryan only come past. Ridiculous performance, mate. Well done.
I spent the entire race feeling that I was struggling on this corner, but having had the chance to compare, it seems I was managing as well as most.
Looking pretty strong there. Not fighting the bike.
This part of the course, on the floodplain of the River Blythe, I thought exposed what I considered to be my relative lack of power. I just tried to get through it as quickly as possible and get onto the hill where I felt a bit more comfortable. Mind you, I was enjoying the cornering. By now the race was thoroughly mixed up, with some riders being caught for 1 and maybe 2 laps and others doing the catching. For the record, my average lap time was around 6 minutes and 45 seconds, with a winner going about a minute quicker per lap. Here I am again on lap 7, having another go at that tricky little chicane. It's good practice when passing a rider to inform them of your presence by saying on your left or on your right. This is usually done calmly, as demonstrated by this rider here. Some riders can be a lot more insistent, but it doesn't get the job done any quicker.
37.
Should have been
38.
A lot happened on this lap. The Barnsbury rider and my Vet 60 competition increased his lead, but I had a good run on the hill and closed right up. I need to relearn the idea of fighting for position.
Thank you. 37. Well done.
The race was won convincingly by Darren Robson from the host club, who was also first Vet 50. Chris Dobson from Sedgefield Velo was the first Vet 60, while I was third from the 4 of us that entered, despite being lapped once and 14th from the 23 strong field.